Okay, let's look at the total cash flow to investors. We've got our same three scenarios here. Recession, expected expansion. The top here is the all equity version. The bottom is the levered version. You can see that on the left-hand side. So the all equity version, we have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 as our EBIT, depending on the economy. We have taxes at 35%. We have no interest. Therefore, we have total cash flows to shareholders, S/H shareholders, is $650, $1,300, and $1,950. So you can see in an all-equity firm, very simple, no problem calculation. Let's look at it in a levered firm, a firm that has debt. Debt is leverage. EBIT, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Interest, 800 at 8%, so that's $640. In the recession, I'm just going to go down the recession here. EBT is 1,000 minus 640. We have earnings before taxes 360. We pay our taxes at 35% for 126, and we get a total cash flow of 234. But that's not the total cash flow to investors. That's the total cash flow to equity. We also have cash flow to bond investors that have given loans to the company of 640. So if you combine those, we end up with $874 in total cash flow going to investors. If you go across to expected, it's 1524, and to expansion, it's 2174. All three numbers are bigger than just the equity firm. So the investors, including both debt and equity, the number is larger because we have debt than we would if we didn't have debt. And the reason for that is, guess who pays less? The pie is the same size, guess who pays less? Of course, the government, because the government isn't getting as much taxes. We can see that in the next slide. You can see that the all-equity firm has a percentage that goes straight to the government, and the rest goes to shareholders or stockholders. In the levered firm, a lot of the money goes to bondholders, and therefore the government gets less. So the bondholders are the ones that are the addition of the bondholders are the ones that make the company pay less. Now, is the government going to get less? No, of course, because those bondholders are going to have to pay taxes on it to the government. So the collection of the taxes just does not come from shareholders. It comes from the bondholders. And of course, that changes a little bit on how you feel about your share price, right? Here in conclusion, it says the levered firm pays less in taxes than the all-equity firm. Thus, the sum of the debt plus the sum of the equity in a levered firm is greater than the equity of the unlevered firm. And this is how cutting the pie differently can make the pie larger. The government takes a smaller slice of the pie from the company. It takes another slice of the pie from the bondholders, which is a different way of looking at things. So in the cash flow version of debt versus equity, there's a reason now to have debt in your company, because the company will pay less in taxes, which of course is beneficial to the shareholders, and the bondholders will only pay taxes on money that they've earned, which they should be paying taxes on anyway. So therefore there is a reduction in taxes on the firm. There is a movement towards putting some debt on the firm. It will magnify your returns, and in this case it'll also minimize your tax bill, which is also very important. So that's some examples of capital structure in debt versus equity. You're not going to be making those decisions until you're a CFO or the owner of your own company, but remember, debt is leverage, and that home ownership and the rest of the examples that we've talked here do apply to everyone that has debt in their life. Debt magnifies the result of whatever you use the money for. So let's keep going. We've got another segment coming up.